Have you ever heard the saying that first you need to know the rules in order to know how to break them? Well, when it comes to being a web designer, there's a handful of do's and don'ts that are widely accepted as gospel for finding success designing for clients. But the thing I love about building your own business and becoming your own boss is that once you know the rules, you get to bend and break them any way you please to make your business fit perfectly with your life and not the other way around. So, in today's video, I'm sharing 3 web design business rules that I personally love to break and how doing the exact opposite of what was actually expected changed my business for the better. But before we dive in, if you're a new or aspiring web designer who could use a little help learning how to market your business in a way that actually attracts your ideal paying clients, then I want you to hit pause on this video and quickly take a 45-second quiz to find out which client finding method matches your personality type. You'll get personalized results delivered straight to your inbox along with helpful resources for getting started with your new made-for-you marketing strategy. I'll also pop the link to that in the description below for you. All right, so what are the 3 web designer rules that I love to break? Rule number 1, I don't send client proposals. Here's how it's usually done. A potential client visits your website, checks out your portfolio page, then falls head over heels in love with your work. Next, they head to your services page to see how much it's going to cost to make their own website dreams come true. They read over your services, see what you have to offer, a few different packages based on their scope of the project, but they still have no idea how much it actually costs, so they head to your contact page and submit an inquiry form. You really don't want to scare them away by talking about your price before having a chance to communicate the value that you provide, and so you offer to hop on a free consultation call to discuss their needs. After the call, that's when you whip up a custom proposal based on what you think the scope of the project will be and how much you think the client will be willing to pay for such a service. Once they've accepted your proposal, you still have to prepare a contract and invoice to send their way so they can actually get officially booked. So that's how it's typically done, but here's what I choose to do instead. I list the exact prices of my services on my website, including a breakdown of what was included in each and every package. There's no guessing whether or not potential clients can afford my services. It's just, here's my packages, here's my rates. If that sounds good to you, here's how to book a call to get started. Right out of the gate, I've weeded out all the people who wouldn't be a right fit budget-wise or whose project was outside the scope of what I offer and therefore wouldn't be worth hopping on a consultation call with anyways. I personally also just don't feel right changing my rate based off what I assume a person can pay. So by listing my exact pricing on my website, my clients can show up to the call already knowing exactly which package they want, and there's no need for the added step of putting together a fancy custom proposal. If on the call I discover that they need something extra that isn't included in their package, then I just let them know exactly how much that extra will be. You will already be outlining all the services that you promised to provide in your contract, which the client will need to review and sign prior to paying their deposit and reserving their spot on your calendar anyways, so a custom proposal really would just be an unnecessary step in my opinion. Not to mention, you're increasing the length of time between the first point of them inquiry to actually locking down the sale. I'm all about finding ways to make the process more efficient, not just for me as the designer, but also making it easier for the client to actually get started on working with me. So that's the first rule that I choose to break. Rule number 2 is that unlike other designers, I don't actually offer a zillion tiers of packages. It's common for designers to offer multiple different tiers for their design services, ranging from hourly design support and simple 1 to 2 week projects, all the way up to massive custom projects that take upwards of 6 weeks to complete. I actually started out offering all sorts of packages. I had big packages and little packages and packages for photographers and sororities and small business owners and restaurants and so on. And as you may imagine, my services page started to get pretty long and confusing. I decided I needed to make it super simple for people to start working with me today, so I narrowed down my offerings to just one package, the 2-week website. And here's why that worked for me. Because of how quickly I could finish a project, I was able to take on just one client at a time instead of trying to figure out how to juggle and prioritize multiple projects that all start overlapping with each other. Plus, the quick turnaround meant that clients wouldn't drag their feet in getting me their content or revision requests. My clients loved it because they didn't have to wait months and months to get their website launched to the world, and they had my complete undivided attention during that time. If I wanted to take a 2-week vacation, I simply didn't fill in that slot in my calendar. It also allowed me to streamline my design process because I wasn't having to bounce between projects and I could use the exact same 2-week website process checklist every single time. I never had to wonder about what I should be doing when I opened up my laptop for the day to start working. I just look at my process checklist and say, cool, it's Tuesday, which is the day I do XYZ thing in my process, and start doing it. And by not offering multiple tiers of packages, I was pretty much able to predict my business revenue for the entire year. Instead of randomly having entire months go by where clients were booking only the cheapest possible package when I could have easily filled those same slots with higher paying projects. This made it incredibly easy to price my services. I would just figure out how many weeks in a year I wanted to work, and therefore how many 2-week websites I could take on in that time. I'd then decide how much I want to make in the year, and therefore how much I need to charge per project to make that work. And then I got to work becoming the designer I needed to be in order to be charging those premium prices. Okay, so this next rule also has to do with creating predictable income, and that is that many designers swear by offering monthly retainer services. So this means that once you finish their initial web design project, your client pays you a recurring monthly fee to sort of have you on call for any updates or maintenance that they may need on their website. So if they have a bit of content that needs swapping out, a new integration set up, or they need someone to update the info on their services page, they just shoot you an email and you take it off their plate. It's a wonderful way to increase the revenue of your business, sees per client, and therefore you need to attract fewer total clients to meet your revenue goals. Plus, you can rest easy knowing that you have a guaranteed minimum monthly income coming in depending on how many retainer contracts you land. But I personally did not enjoy being on call for retainer clients. I liked knowing that at the end of the project, I could fully hand it off to them, and the only person I needed to make myself available to in any given week was the one client I was currently designing for. Offering a monthly retainer can sometimes mean you're not hearing from retainer clients for weeks, and then all of a sudden, 7 past clients show up in your inbox with an emergency on the same day, and you have to figure out how to get all that done in time. By choosing not to keep clients on retainer, I had the freedom to take a guilt-free, legit leaving my laptop at home vacation instead of worrying about past clients urgently trying to contact me for last-minute updates when I was trying to get my vacation on. So, those are just the 3 web designer norms that I choose to totally ignore in my business to make it work for me. If you could use help learning how to build a profitable web design business that perfectly supports your lifestyle and the way that you also like to work, then I invite you to check out my course, Square Secrets Business, here, or by visiting pbcourses.com. If you found this video helpful, be sure to let me know by hitting that like button. And for the best tips and tricks on building a web design business that you love, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button to be notified when new content drops on my channel every single week. Wondering what to watch next? Be sure to check out these videos too.